Pep Talk UK, Pro Bs once again. Remember, subscribe, and I'm delighted to be joined by the head of the MTK Foundation, ESPN Plus analyst, and boxing expert, Spencer Fearon. Long list of accolades.
Now we talking that you didn't call me historian.
Oh,
I mean,
I'm slipping, man. I'll be slipping, man. I'll be slipping out here, man.
That's all good. All good. What you saying, bro? You good?
I'm doing well, man. I think I thought I'd hit you up, man. I saw your post on the gram about how you predicted Josh Taylor would be a tremendous fighter, about how he'd be one of the best fighters, you know, to ever grace British shores. Is it a case of I told you so?
No, it's not a case. I'm just trying, man. Like, you know, all the idiots who keep on saying I don't know what I'm talking about. You know, it's just nice to see like somebody fulfilling the things that I have predicted. So I have to props them to say thank you for not making me look like a liar. You know what I mean? That's all, or to make me look. That's the only reason why I put. So big up Josh Taylor, fantastic win. You know what I mean? Big up Ben Davison. But also I got to keep this thing 100. You also got to big up Shane McGuigan because he was with him from start to finish till, you know what I mean, was up to his 16th fight. So Ben Davison is the new trainer in the thing now. But what I got to say is like, I'll be remiss and it would be bad mind of me not to mention Shane McGuigan's great work that he did with Josh Taylor to bring him to that pinnacle. And now Ben Davison has taken over the reins. But one thing we have to props Ben Davison for, right? And it would be a little bit if he didn't, how he altered the game plan after 5 rounds. You know what I mean? And that implementation was pivotal, and it was also paramount for Josh Taylor to have secured victory because it was still tight on the scorecards. And if he never scored those knockdowns, right? If he never scored those knockdowns, then, you know, Ramirez would have won. So, yeah. So big up Ben, you know what I mean? Who shouldn't say, what do you call himself? The PE teacher does it again or whatever, not all right?
Boxer size teacher, they were, yeah.
Maybe you are a boxer size teacher, but you're a boxer size teacher that's turning out champions. So just call yourself, bro.
Yeah. You mentioned the adjustments that they made in the 5th round. We spoke off air and you said you had Ramirez 4 up initially.
I did. It was close, but I saw Ramirez bossing Josh, hitting him with hard body shots. And remember, even though he's a Mexican, but that's still home soil to those guys. You're fighting out in Vegas. That's home soil to those guys. That's their territory. So judges, and I know for a fact, going by how the judges saw it, it's very difficult when I'm judging fights for MTK Global Fighters.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean, you're gonna have a conscious bias, let alone an unconscious one. I mean,
right, yeah.
Ben Davis is my guy, so you're gonna be biased. So I did the watch along with me and Tundi on the Fighters Right Stand for Sale YouTube channel. I'm really trying to be unbiased, and because I'm trying to be so unbiased, sometimes if a round's close, I'm not giving it to the MTK Global fighter.
Okay, all right, okay.
Right? I'm being that subjective because everyone's on me about, you know what I mean, you're biased to MTK Global. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, tremendous achievement by
Josh
Taylor. Do you know what? We were kind of saying as well, like, he really's got, you know, the lot. You know, you can have a tear up, you can stand and war, you can stand and rock, but also as well, you can move about. He's got lateral movement.
Yeah. Got good chin as well. I mean, he's got good. The only mark against him is the fact that he marks up.
Yeah. obviously, yeah. I think obviously the bigger guys at 147, once they start landing shots, that's probably going to test, his
Resolve.
yeah, resolve even more.
Yeah.
Interesting. Look, the last time we spoke, right? We had an undisputed fight, and then we were both like saying, "Okay, is it happening? It's not. It's not happening, but something else is happening, and everyone's talking about it now. They're talking about their version of events. All right. So, all right, we'll start with the Twitter row. All right, Joshua and Tyson Fury. Did you see that at all?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
I'm just keeping this thing 100. In a boxing match, I'm saying skill for skill, Tyson Fury will beat Andy Joshua. Yeah? If Joshua adapts the fighting strategy that he had when he fought Klitschko with a tight guard, double jab, right hand, I mean, Tyson Fury is susceptible to uppercuts and he's susceptible to body shots, hence why he wears his protector so high, then Andy Joshua can most probably do him, right? But the Twitter beef, talking about on the cobblers, yeah? I'm telling you, Anthony Joshua would totally smash Tyson Fury.
Okay.
Right? And even though Watford ain't the baddest of places for the people from the diaspora, it's a Anthony Joshua came from a dark place. Anthony Joshua would totally have Tyson Fury in a street fight.
Wow.
I know Fury's gonna phone me tomorrow and start slagging me off, but I'm just being real. That's my mindset. I think Anthony Joshua will bad him up. And furthermore, Dylan White would bad up both of them. Yep,
wow.
I've seen.
Wow, okay. All right, so
Right. Dylan would yam them, man.
Okay, so Joshua said that you were just basically using me for clout. You didn't want to fight. Did you see, in your opinion, did you see that Fury really wanted the fight, in your humble opinion?
In my humble opinion, I believe Fury wanted the fight. But what I'm trying to say is this. As much as I have no interest in seeing a Deontay Wilder rematch, I have interest now because I think that Deontay Wilder could potentially knock out Tyson Fury. Just a funny thing, heavyweight boxing. You know what I mean? And something that Eddie Hearn should learn is never count your chickens. You know what I mean? And in the famous words of Malcolm X, maybe the chickens came home to roost, bro. You know what I mean? And also, if you know that something is going to arbitrational law, right? Sorry, arbitration law is not judicial law in America, right? If you know something's going to arbitrate, how rambunctiously arrogant must you have been to think that everything was a foregone conclusion? Somebody knew something, because as soon as this arbitration business started to come out, which was this week, within 2 days, the date was announced for Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. 2 days. Now I'm promoted, but I've never promoted on those skills. But I know it's going to take 2 days for me to go find out that we can make this fight happen and have paperwork ready and Tyson Fury then signed. So something's going on, right? So Andy Joshua's right to say that my man was using my name for clout chasing. He's right. Because the fight's not happening. So blame everyone. Blame Bob Arum. I mean, blame Eddie Hearn. Blame Frank Warren. That's it. But you know what? From morning, Frank Warren was always saying, I could smell a rat. Show us the money, show us this. And the thing about it is this, is because you see the Saudi side, Eddie's got that on lock. So it's kind of like, look, this is happening, you see this thing called arrogance. You see this thing called arrogance. is not a good thing. You know what I mean? It's not a good thing. So now everyone's got egg on their face. Tyson Fury ain't got egg on his face because he said, "Boy, I don't business. If I got to fight Deontay Wilder, I got to fight Deontay Wilder." He said that for a long time. And now look.
So what you're kind of saying is, look, the blame must be shared. It's not one person in particular.
It's not one person in particular, but more so, Eddie Hearn has got egg on his face because it's done, fight's done, all the rest of it. It's not done. Very complex, very complicated. And this is what happened when you have 3 power bases or promoters from 3 different eras linking up to try and do a thing. One man wants to do his thing his way, next one wants to do his things his way, and man wants to do his thing his way. So, and Al Heyman said, "Nah, you lot carry on, do your thing, do your thing." You know what I mean? Just like dominoes. You know what I mean? Man just double dose and done the dance and mash up the table as well.
Yeah, because Eddie Hearn did say that Bob Arum said, look, when they first started trying to get the fight arranged, that the arbitration wouldn't be a factor and that the contract was expired.
Okay, I hear all of that, but what you must remember is this. Here is a man that famously said, "Well, yesterday I was lying, but today I'm telling the truth." 2 days to get a date sorted out in Vegas. 2 days. Nah, bro. I smell a rat.
Wow. And okay. Eddie Hearn was also saying that, look, the whole thing stinks. So you're saying, obviously, look, it's taken only 2 days for them to make an announcement, and also the signing of a contract by Tyson Fury as well.
Eddie Hearn's right. Listen, Eddie Hearn's right to say what he's saying, but also he has to take blame for being so cocksure and arrogant and thinking, yeah, it was going to go how it was going to go. And it hasn't gone that way. You know what I mean? So don't play the sport rich kid now. Take it as it is, man up and say, yeah, I made a massive mistake. You know what I mean? And the only way this fight is going to happen in the future is with open transparency. Right? And also, Bob Arum has always openly dissed Al Heyman. Yeah? And Bob Arum should know better because he was a Harvard lawyer, graduate. You know what I mean? Bob Arum's not no idiot. He's a very highly intelligent man.
Former lawyer, yeah.
The former lawyer. He's not a former lawyer because you're not just a former lawyer. He's a former practicing lawyer, but you're always a lawyer. Always a lawyer. So they knew, man. Not taking for no idiot. They knew. They said, boy, we're not saying nothing. This is the backup plan anyway. If it don't come true and we lose the case, then you know what? We're gonna fight Deontay Wilder. So yeah, it is what it is. You know what? I wish Deontay Wilder all the best because at least he gets his shot. He gets his shot and fair play. Because you know what? Fun and games. Even though I really don't have any interest in it, but I have an interest in what is right. I have an interest in morality. You know what I mean? And the correctness of morals. Deontay Wilder took you out of the dungeons, Tyson Fury, and gave you a massive opportunity. And it was 2 things. Yeah, I want to give Tyson Fury an opportunity, but really, truly, in his head, he thought, you're going to be an easy touch. I'm going to just mash you up. Right? That's what he thought. He didn't. First fight, I didn't score that fight to Deontay Wilder. Second fight, there was no scoring. We know Deontay Wilder got beat handily. Right? Now, you can get all these thorough checks, make sure the gloves are all right, make sure there's nothing in his gloves. You know what I mean? Make sure the padding and the stuffing of the gloves are correct. You can check all of these kind of things. Make sure you don't come into the ring with one of them heavy suits again. So we got no excuses. You got that you duke it out. You know what I mean? Because I see you doing your bits with Malik Scott, and I do see improvement. So I've got to give you ratings for that. You know what I mean? Because like people used to think like I dislike Deontay Wilder. I liked what he stood for, but I didn't like the bitching after the fight. Should have took it, man out, take it as a man. But you know what? Bottom line is all of this bitching has kept your name circulating still. And now you're back in the game, and now you have a chance now. So whatever happens in this fight, if you come second best, I don't know. I've got a feeling that Deontay Wilder can knock out Tyson Fury in this fight and just mash up everything, right? You have a chance to redeem yourself. Seriously.
You think there was any sort of thinking that with this whole Fury-Joshua fight that was trying to be arranged to, you think there was like a sinister plan behind it to help promote the Wilder and Fury fight, the third fight?
I don't think anything, because I don't know. You know what I mean? Only the guys who were dealing with what they was dealing with was gonna know on the reels. But like I said, are you really going to trust the man who famously said, you know what I mean? Yesterday I was lying, but today I'm telling the truth. What do you think that ethos of their character has gone away? It's not gone away. This is the game. You know what I mean? This is the game. That's what I'm saying. This is the game.
Just to kind of wrap up on that. Okay, so apparently there was no offer to Deontay Wilder of step-aside money, right? Does that kind of reinforce the claim that the plan all along was to have the third fight?
Well, it's something like Deontay Wilder said, I'll step aside, but I'll take 20 million.
Apparently, yeah. Well, apparently there was no figure. There was nothing that was offered.
Oh, you know what? Listen, I don't business. I don't care. Good for Deontay Wilder. He's getting his title shot. You know what I mean? Deservedly, just for morals. For morals' sake, it was in a contractual agreement. Honor your contract. I'm still got. I would have loved to have seen, for the undisputed. But you see where things like this happen now, arbitration and rare tear. That's when sometimes like we could be looking at a banana skin here, you know.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just 100. We could be looking at banana skin.
How does Joshua get on against Usyk?
Usyk's been unimpressive in his two contests at heavyweight, against men who are not Anthony Joshua. So why do I think all of a sudden now Usyk's going to beat Josh? He's not. I'm just being real. He's not big enough. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's got skill. He don't punch hard enough at heavyweight to deal with Anthony Joshua, and he's the better ring technician, right? He has the better ring generalship, and he's got that, and he should be able to wear him down and stop him within 9 rounds. That's what should happen. He should just be a bit too big, a bit too strong for him, and bludgeon him. That's what I believe.
Wow, it seems like the whole heavyweight division is just spun on its head.
It has spun
7 days.
It has spun on his head, but I mean, we shall see what's going to happen.
Yeah, and kind of just like lastly to go, obviously, look, totally out of the blue. Well, not totally. There was talks about this a little while ago. Pacquiao and Errol Spence.
You know what?
24th.
Listen, the reason why Manny Pacquiao's taken that fight over Bud Crawford is because he believes that Bud Crawford will be a harder proposition than Errol Spence. Forget about the fact that he's with Al Heyman and all the rest of it. And I'm telling you this now, and I love Errol Spence. Pacquiao's going to beat him, you know?
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you now, Pacquiao's going to beat him. Remember I said this? Pacquiao's going to beat him.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. You know, we look forward to that. Definitely. I think, well, Pacquiao's been inactive for 2 years, though.
Don't matter. You mean it don't matter? Because when Pacquiao goes to camp, he goes to camp.
What have you made of Errol Spence since he returned from the horrific car crash accident?
Okay, performance against Garcia, but Danny wasn't really bringing nothing, and Errol didn't look that good to me. And that's me being real. He didn't. And I think you're going in Vegas to fight Manny Pacquiao, that goes points. Who do you think the judge is going to be favoring? Right? Plus, you're going to deal with Manny Pacquiao's speed, even though I was Manny Pacquiao now, 43.
Yeah.
Right? He's ridiculously fast, even now. You know what I mean? He's a ridiculously fit man. And he has ring generalship. And all this is going to do is call for Floyd Mayweather to come out of retirement and fight Manny Pacquiao. And that's what's going to happen, because Manny Pacquiao is going to be.
Wow. You heard it. Wow, you heard it first.
Right?
Spence. Yeah.
Right? And you know why? Listen, I'm just keeping this thing 100. I'm being truthful. I love Errol Spence. Yeah, I mean, Jamaican descent, love him. Think he's an excellent fighter. But similar to like when I said like Keith Thurman was going to get dealt with Pacquiao. Right? Do you remember? I think I done it on Pep Talk. I even called you. I called the correct scoring for that fight. Just like when I called Manny Pacquiao was going to do a Broner, and I called the scoring for that. And it was right. And I'm telling you again that Manny Pacquiao is going to beat Errol Spence. He's going to outpoint him. I'm telling you now.
Wow. And what that will do for the boxing purists and fans, that will totally destroy.
What happened? It will draw Floyd Mayweather to come out of retirement. But Manny Pacquiao is an 8-weight world champion. And out of the 8 weights, he's been a lineal champion in 5. And I say that he's got a better resume than Floyd Mayweather, but he's not the greater fighter. Right? And that will draw for Floyd Mayweather to come out of retirement and make something. And that'll be a draw, because Floyd's going to beat up this Jake Paul guy in this exhibition thing bad. And then that's what's going to happen. Remember, I told you this. Hold these things so you can send it to me, because I've just started to use this Instagram reel so I can use it on one of my reels, and we're good to go. All right? Peace, 2 fingers. Big up Pro, big up Shaz, big up all of the Pep Talk crew, because they're the realest. Peace, 2 fingers. The knowledge is out. Bye-bye.
The fight is right, baby.